Iron Stories, Episode 19, Astray. Welcome back to another episode of Iron Stories. Yeah, the last time we have left off, we were on our way from Thornfields to Whitewood, as we found out that there is something going on in Whitewood. We gathered this some tall tales or like rumors that there is something going on in Whitewood, something quite interesting, like this two different enclaves that are fighting over the same land since a long time, and there is now an important event that is threatened. What we have no idea what this event is, and I had a look a bit what this event might be, and I have still no idea. So we will find that out maybe later. But we're now currently on our way from Thornfields to Whitewood, which is quite a long travel. Actually, it's 6 days travel. And it's a formidable travel, as it looks like, because there was a river in our path very early on in our travels. And Jebran and Katania tried to cross it. There was no bridge in the vicinity, and they tried to cross it. It wasn't too wide, and probably maybe isn't all too deep, but it's just raging, or so you have unstable footing if you cross it. And Katania was able to like cross it without much of an issue. But Jebran wasn't that lucky. So he had to or he failed basically to go over this raging river, crossing the path via some stones or something. And so he's currently fighting in this river, and so is Katania. She's like looking from the other side, looking as Jebran is taken away by the river, and now she's trying to follow and probably also trying to help him. So let's see how we do that. So the question is, I mean, I can do this another progress here, which I probably can do. So let's say that's the raging river here. I make that as a progress thing here. I don't know it. I said it as troublesome. It's probably mostly a bit inconvenient to it. So yeah, and I handle this. I don't know how to handle this. Maybe probably for every hit I get, I increase the marks on progress or something like that. Maybe I make it dangerous. Yeah, let's make it dangerous. Why not? Okay, so probably Katania is. I mean, she sees him probably also trying to fight back a bit, or like to stand up. He's still a bit groggy from slipping and into the water, the cold water that is raging here. And also, I mean, he has to try to find some sort of stable footing to get upright, because currently he's more or less like laying flat, or mostly laying flat, so the river can just carry him away. Further down river, there's probably stones all over the river, so that's probably not going to be much of a help here as well. So I say at first, I think Katania is trying to keep up with him. The river is taking him down river, so she has to like run along the river bend or the river bank alongside him to shout to him, to maybe also even wake him up to some sort, so like keep him up, shouting to him to see if he's okay-ish. I mean, he's fallen in a river. However, you can be okay with that, but that he's at least conscious or not. At that point, she probably has to also try not to also fall in the river. So she she faces danger. When you attempt running risky or react to imminent threat, which this clearly is. And she goes on with speed, that she has to try to keep up with him. So she runs alongside it. And of course, everything goes to shit here, as it looks like. Because I got a double 7 on my challenge die and only a 6 on my action score. So I fail that, and I fail it miserably, and there's a complication. So she tries to run along the riverbank as well. And as it looks like, at one point, she's like looking over, shouting at Jebran at this point, and he goes past quickly, so she has to really run to keep up, and at one point, because she's clearly just very near the bank, she also has to look a bit where is he exactly, so she has to go a bit closer to the river to see better. So she at some point missteps, and the bank is wet, and the sand or the land there is muddy. It's not giving a good stable footing. So she will slither and also ends up in the river, basically. So she runs behind him, shouts his name, Jebran, are you okay? And she can't hear. There isn't an answer for him. She goes a bit closer, and with that, she just falls in as well. And of course, that's not good. 2 of my characters are now in a raging river. Hooray! So Jebran, he's probably trying to regain a bit of his composure, to like shake off whatever he's in. I wouldn't know what this actually is. That's interesting. So I wouldn't really know. So there isn't like a move that says like shake it off. I mean, and your harm is a bit like that, but I don't have yet physical damage or endured yet physical damage. So I would rather say I roll on heart, just to see if I can, because heart is more or less heart is, I think, more the empathic thing. So let's see the characters. So he has his stats. So edge is quickness, agility, and prowess. Courage is Heart is courage, willpower, empathy, sociability, and loyalty. Iron, physical strength, endurance. Okay, so maybe it's iron. Aggressiveness and prowess in close combat. So shaking it off is probably is an endurance act, I guess. So I think I just roll on iron and see what I get here. So strong hit. So I would say so. As progress goes, I mark some progress on the Raging River here. So he's able to shake off everything to get. He's like groggy a bit in an half unconscious state, something. But the cold water, together with maybe some additional bruising he gets from going across the river, or going along the river. There's like physical, so he's swooshed left to right. He's maybe bumping into some rocks. There's like at some point pain and adrenaline flowing or through his body, and this wakes him up, gets him into this more of a conscious state, and in this state he is able to shake it off, to regain his composure for the moment, to regain a bit of self-awareness, and the last thing he could see, or he could actually hear, is Katania shouting his name, and then a splash, and he's trying to like lift his head above the water to see if he could see what the splash was, and for sure he could see Katania also being in the river. So there's now both of them are now in the river. So for him, I think the first thing he needs to do is to like regain some. So Katania is a bit behind him, so he's in front and she's a bit behind him. So he knows, okay, whatever I face, she will face a little later on. So I can just, for her at least, to give her at least a bit of a leeway to be better navigating this thing, if at all possible. I mean, it's hard. But he could try. What he could try is to like somehow regain a foothold and then maybe snatch her out of the water as well, like so passing by, so maybe grabbing something, as like you see in the movies where they're in the river and they try to snatch like broken or like hanging branches from nearby trees, etc., or maybe a plank or something like that, where they could regain a bit of a thing here. So yeah, why not? I wanna do that. So he tries to find something to help him get more control in these waters. So I would say that's securing an advantage. So like just having a look around to see if there's maybe something to be had, and at the same time also a bit like navigating this river. So the question is, it's probably with observation at the moment. So he's looking around as well as he could within the Raging River. It's a strong hit, which is good. So he's able to do that. So I could either take control, can make another move now, or prepare to act. I think I'm making another move now, and now I'm +1 it. So again, it's a hit, so I mark some progress. And yeah, for sure, I would say that there is like a branch near. So there's like a tree that is growing along the river because there is enough water there. So it's a good place to be at as any for a river or for a tree. So I would say, okay, let's them. There's maybe also like a branch, like as I said in the movies, this is a branch hanging over, and Jebran is seeing that, and he's trying to steer over to that branch, to like grab it, grab it with one hand, and then at some point, hopefully also grabbing Katania as she passes by the same spot at some point. So yeah, so he so now he faces danger and tries to do that. So the question is if this is like aggressive action, forceful, or if this. So this is facing danger. Again, it's attempting something risky here. The question is if it's speed, agility, or if it's more strength-based, and I guess it's more strength-based, so he has to snatch the branch and then hold onto the branch while the river is like raging under him, so he doesn't loses his grip on the dad. And the next step would then be to snatch up Katania as well with some strength. So I face the danger here as well with iron at this point because it's strength based, and I add +1 because I secured an advantage before. And even with that, I only get a weak hit, which is okay. So progress wise, I mark that anyway. So on a weak hit, I succeed, but I have a troublesome cost. So I'm either delayed, lose adventure, or face a new danger. You're tired or hurt, you're dispirited or afraid, or a sacrifice resources. And I guess, I mean, all this, I mean, I think at this point, I mean, in this river, there's probably stones, there's the cold, the wetness that they are in. So it's probably going to hurt him, especially when he like goes and grabs the tree or the branch of the tree. Maybe it's a thick branch, so he can like with one hand or like hang over this branch to grab it, to like have the branch under his arm. So it's more chunks, a bit a bigger trunk of a branch. That there is there. I mean, but still, the river is like still trying to sweep under him, or is sweeping under him and trying to push him forwards, or downwards, and downwards in the sense of the river. So he has to hold on, and this is like he gets like a first. So the first bump that he gets is like, this is like half dislocating his shoulder as he's just trying to hang on the branch and counteract the momentum that is trying to pull him further downwards, and him holding this place, and also scraping along some stones underneath. So yeah, so I would say he gets hurt by that. So he loses some health here. And I have to endure harm. Oh, so basically probably the rank is, so I lose probably to 2 health here because the river is because I mark it as a progress is dangerous, so I probably lose 2 here, which is normally what you get for dangerous foes. And now it doesn't matter if I'm rolling health or iron. Both of them are +3. So I get a strong hit here, so I can either shake it off. So suffer some momentum, regain 1 health, which I would probably do. So he's still pumped full of adrenaline, and so he pushes through the pain. I still got hurt by it because I lost 2 health and just regained 1, so it still got hurt. So like the shoulder where he bumped and half dislocated it, is still hurting as hell. As he tries to regain a bit of stable holding here. So now there is, I would say, so now he's trying to help Katania as well to get out of here. So so I try again to secure an advantage here. Again with strength, to like grab her with the other free hand that he has out of the water, or holding her, so she doesn't go further down river, and then he could help her to like also grab the trunk, so they could at some point then climb out of the water. So I can do this with strength here, so I get a weak hit. I give for weak hits maybe only 1 instead of 2 of the progress. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. So weak hit here. I at least get some momentum here. But I mean, I'm able to like hold out my hand, yell to Katania, but she still has to react and grab my hand, or grab the hand of Jebran. So now, as well, again, I would say Katania as well does roll for on iron to see if she's okay. I get a weak hit here as well. So she's still foggy and groggy, but he can hear. She can just see halfway above her the water that Jebran is holding out his hand, and she's just like tries and grab it as she passes by. So I face danger here, again with iron with her as well. Strong hit, that's nice. Okay, so she's able to grab the hand of Jebran. And you can get a momentum out of that. So she's able to grab the hand and holding very tightly on it, and that gives her enough holding that with the other hand she can just also grab the trunk and hold it there. So now they just tried both to climb out of it, which is basically ending this progress. And it's a strong hit. So yeah, so they were able to hold out the hands. There's now Jebran sees, okay, she got the hold on it, so he can let her go with the other arm, so he can use his second arm as well to go over the trunk. And they both maybe like take some deep breaths here, and then climb out of the water onto with the help on the branch to get back to land, to the other side where they wanted to be in the first place as well. But with some difficulty, they got on the other side of the river. Yeah, it is some inconvenience here for sure, but at least they made it. so they're both now wet and cold from the river, and it's probably best for both of them to to create camp here for the moment, to make a fire to try to dry a bit their clothes as well, and maybe check for supplies, etc. Um, so yeah, so we make camp. I think Jebran is probably um, a bit better in a thing. So we could choose one. So I could recuperate. I can partake, which gives me relax, focus, or prepare. I think I make prepare here. So I mean, basically, as I said, they're just they're going a bit inside of or out, a bit away from the river, and then they make a fire there, create a camp for a moment, maybe for 1 to 2 hours, to sit next to the fire to like dry off and warm again from the cold water that they just endured in here. Just 1 to 2 hours maybe to see there to do that, and then to prepare to go further. I mean, most of the weapons are they both have both mostly like melee weapons, so it doesn't bother them that they get wet. Instead of like, if you look like bows or something like that, so the feathers on the arrows would get problematic. But since they have mostly like, Jebran has an axe and Katania has her dagger or her knife, so they don't bother. It's more maybe mostly that their food got a bit wet, but I mean it's they mostly had. I mean, maybe they got some bread from the way that now is completely wet, and they probably just. I mean, they could like put it into the fire to dry off, but I think they just throw it away for the birds to feed on it. They still have their turkey, their meat, since it's already has been dried once. It's just wet. You can just re-dry it. Doesn't matter if it gets a bit wet. So. They just put it next to the fire to like steam off. That's it. It's prepared in such a way that they can just take it. So they wouldn't have any bread, but they won't complain about it. And if they need to, they can just like hunt for something like that and just or I mean they can recook it if they really want to. So yeah, I mean, there's enough salt on it that shouldn't go bad that quickly. So yeah, they make some camp here. So I think they were traveling already like half a day. So now that they took another 1 to 2 hour break, like that. I mean, the whole river thing maybe didn't last longer than like 10-15 minutes. It's a quick affair. Of course, the downtime afterwards has been bigger than the detour that they just took. I mean, in this 15-30 minutes, they probably lost a bit of their travel time, but not that much. They lost maybe like 1 or 2 hours, maybe 1 hour, like that. When they traveled downriver, a bit away from their path that they needed to take. But I mean, they can. It shouldn't be that much of an issue. It doesn't delay them too much in the end. But you never know, of course, in the end. So But of course, the 1 to 2 hours I then I had to leave here. So it's now, I think, would say mid-afternoon when they break up their camp and travel a bit further. And Jebran is basically, okay, to make up for the time, we should maybe go a bit or travel a bit faster, but still like trying to keep or trying to not to be too quick, not to fall into other rivers again, but maybe may also make up a bit for lost time here. So yeah, so they go further in their travels, and hopefully there's nothing else in their way. So they undertake a journey as well. They undertake another journey. So he goes, I would say Jebran is walking a bit ahead. He's also a bit like, he's, on one hand, he's a bit embarrassed that he fell into the water, and on the other hand, of course, it was on his hand that they both were saved again, in a sense. So he's happy for that. But in the end, he's also like a bit still holding his shoulder, his arm that got yanked on a bit, and he's going ahead to like sulk in solitude a bit while he's like traversing and looking at the land to see where the best path is. So he's leading the party, so to speak, onto their next waypoint. So they mark progress on that. Since I said that they are moving at a bit of a higher pace, I would say they suffer a bit from their supplies, which also makes sense. While so they tossed a bit of their resources away. Like I said, like the bread that they maybe got, they had to throw away here. So they suffer some resources, but they also travel a bit faster, so that they could travel a bit farther. Things. So the question is now that if they travel a bit also. So since they travel a bit, but they didn't get the full half-day travel here, the question here becomes a bit if before they make camp here, that they maybe travel a bit also in the night. So like they lost 2 hours, that these 2 hours they could like travel in the darkness, the early night, to regain that half day of travel that they missed. Why not? Let's say they do that. So they travel again. They walk a bit further. This time it's the miss. Okay, that's bad. So yeah, they try to travel further in the night, but as the sun sets and darkness gets hold of the land, and then the night starts, of course their vision is impaired by the encroaching darkness, so they can't make that well of progress in their journey. It takes them a bit longer for that half day to to do, and so they have now to pay the price for that decision. I mean, it's somewhat. I mean, in retrospect, Jebran would also maybe like punch himself to make such a foolish decision to just press on. But he really wanted to make up for the time that they just lost in the river. Because, as I said, he's also maybe a bit embarrassed of himself, so he doesn't want to like. He doesn't want to give in, to say that it was his fault that I lost like 2 hours in the travel. So he like presses on to make it up. So at the end she can't say, or Katania couldn't say, okay, we didn't make it in time because of you. So I mean, there's a bit of his pride on the line here. So they press on, and of course this was not really a good idea. So I have to pay the price here. So the question is, what the negative outcome might be. Let's roll on the table to see. It's always a new danger or foe is revealed, which is kind of lame. So let's I don't know. So yeah, so the thing is not really helpful. So I don't know if it's like, what could this be? So they could maybe be. I mean, one thing they could like be getting lost of some sort. There's maybe starting to be there. Starts to be some sort of like foresty area in the vicinity. As I said, wide wood. Well, if it's already now a forest, it would maybe not make sense. Well, maybe. So since I said this is halfway in a forest enclave, halfway in a plains enclave, that there has to be some forests around for sure. But it's quite near to Thornfields, so why wouldn't Thornfields be a thing? But well, it's maybe a small forest, so it wouldn't be entirely a forest enclave, and it's already day travel. So there could be a lot of space in between, depending on how flat the surface is. So I would say, I mean, since I don't really know the land that well, and maybe the night is also a bit cloudy, so they can't, or Jebran can't see the stars, so it's harder to navigate when you don't have a visual clue. During the day you can use the sun, of course, to navigate. You would always wouldn't more or less know where south is by looking at, by looking at the sun. I mean, you know where it rises, that's where the east is, and so that you can navigate according to that during the day. And during the night, you normally like navigate via the stars. That's what they did back then. They didn't have like GPS and mobiles to like run around to see what is. I mean, they could maybe had fashioned some sort of compasses. That's also technology that's around for quite some time, but I don't know if this. Well, if they're, I don't know if compasses are more prevalent in naval navigation than sextants were. I think sextants were more prevalent. I don't think they discovered, well, how fast they would discover magnetism and earth magnetisms. I go on a tangent here as well, but I think where this is probably based, like in this olden Viking times, I don't think they discovered world magnetism yet. I don't know. So maybe I wouldn't. I say they don't have a compass, so they wouldn't know where north is. They wouldn't be able to navigate that well to Whitewood. And in the dark, if you don't have the the stars to navigate, it's getting very difficult. And of course, they're still a bit groggy and worn out from the river, that they get lost, I would say. So they get waylaid in their travels very quickly, or fairly quickly, and they stumble into I would say into some woods. Yeah, Jebran, upon recognizing that he has no clue where he is, he just says, "Okay, maybe make camp here as well, to see, to look to, yeah, let's make camp here. It's probably not a good idea to make any step further. Let's wait for the day to have at least like an idea to where to go next, to like navigate again when there's daylight out, to have a better idea where to go next." This was probably a bad idea to do so. So yeah, they make another camp here. Maybe this time it's Katania that makes camp. They both have the same supply, so it doesn't matter. It's a weak hit again. I don't know if I want to heal. I don't want to heal yet. So I would say they prepare here. It's probably better to that they just as Jebran said, let's make camp here and wait for the morning to probably help them recognize where the hell they are, to find out where they have to go next or not. And I would even say that this is maybe an interesting thing here to even go way on a tangent, and have another site here, maybe a small one. Let's see. Let's create another site here. So I have different themes and domains. So the domain could be probably like again, a woody area. I think the only thing I have here is a Tanglewood or a Shadowfen. Maybe let's take the Shadowfen. I don't know what the difference fully is. I think So the Tanglewood, of course, is a perilous forest of eternal shadow, which would fit actually why they got lost. The Shadowfen is primeval marsh, that maybe doesn't really make sense in that case. So it's probably again a Tanglewood. So yeah, so it's a Tanglewood again. I don't know yet what the theme might be, of course. This I could roll. Isn't there there should be an oracle here to say Delph, give me a theme for this thing. It is a ravaged. Okay. A ravaged Tanglewood. Ravaged Tanglewood. So time, disaster, or strife have taken their toll. Okay, that's interesting. Now I've fucked it up somehow. Let's see. No, I have it. Okay. So a ravaged Tanglewood. So let's see what the, if I can give it a site name, if I can give it a name. Is there somewhere like a name generator? I don't know. Oh yeah, site name format. It is a place of description detail. Okay, that sounds ominous. So a place, the place is cavern. Nah, can't be. I mean, the place is most obviously a Tanglewood. Okay, so the Tanglewood of description wasted. Okay, maybe forbidden. Forbidden sounds ominous enough. Forbidden. And the detail is war. Desolation or blood. Blood. This sounds most ominous. Okay, so let's see here. So we are currently in the Tanglewood of Forbidden Blood. Whatever that means. Tanglewood of Forbidden Blood. So, in a very bad, turn of events, they, in their nightly stupor, where they just wandered around aimlessly and got lost, they got lost in this Tanglewood of Forbidden Blood. This sounds way ominous. And let's also see what the thing is. So it's a dangerous thing. Okay. Such a dangerous side. So I would say that their objective here is to find a way out here. They have no idea where they are, and as they wake up from their camp, as the fire from their thing is flickering out, they are in this forest, and it is still quite dark. So the all around the all around, so there's everything is dark. So the treetops are completely blocking out any amount of light that there could be. So it's just perpetually dark and perpetually night around here. And it looks like that, Jebran didn't have the feeling that they traveled so far inside a forest, but it seems to like go on endlessly in all directions, and I have no clue where they are. So yeah, there are now it seems to be at the first glance like captured or imprisoned in this tanglewood. They have no idea how to get out of here. So yeah, let's see what they encounter here in the next session. I guess it's a good place as any to keep a pause here, and they are very sidetracked from their initial thing they want to go on. Will they ever reach Whitewood? I don't know. We will see. So we hear us in the next episode.